Hello, on this video, I'm going to show you how to do completing the square. There's an example in class, there's an example on the notes, and I'm going to go over that example now. Completing the square. It is not that difficult, but it involves a lot of things. So the first thing is, say we have 5x plus 4, x squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Now, you could factor this problem out. It's actually not that complicated. It's x plus 4 times x plus 1, and our answers are going to be x equals -1 or x equals -4. Now, the problem with this question is that it is asking you to solve it a specific way, and that is how you're supposed to do it. Now, let me introduce you to the concept. So first of all, as before, you need to identify your A. In this case, your A is 1. Remember, the A is the coefficient of the quadratic term. Now, if the coefficient of the quadratic term is 1, then what you're going to do is you're going to move the constant term to the right-hand side. So you're going to be left with x squared plus 5x equals -4. If you have -4 now, on the left-hand side, you should only have two terms, the quadratic term and the linear term. Now, you're going to grab the middle term, which is 5 divided by 2 and square, and then you're going to add it to the left-hand side and to the right-hand side. And your question is going to look like x squared plus 5x plus 5 over 2 square will be equal to -4 plus 5 over 2 square. Now, on the left-hand side, you have that this is a perfect factor and it can factor out beautifully. Now, the way I like to explain it is that you can take your time and you can find two numbers that when added gives you 5 over 2 square, but when added gives you 5, or you can just go ahead and grab the variable x, bring it down, you have x, to grab the sign, which is going to be here, plus, and you grab the term that it's inside the parentheses, and you're done. The left-hand side is complete. You have x plus 5 over 2 squared equals, on the right-hand side, so let's do the steps one at a time. What is 5 over 2 squared? Recall that 5 over 2 squared is the same thing as 5 squared over 2 squared. So 5 squared is 25, 2 squared is 4. So you're going to be left with 25 over 4. Now that we got that, we are going to try to get a common denominator. And we're going to do that by multiplying by 4 on the bottom and on the top. At the top, you're going to be left with -16 over 4 plus 25 over 4. Now, -16 plus 25, it's equal to 9 over 4. So you're going to be left with x plus 5 over 2 squared. Now, in your notes, it says you guys finished the problem. Because I'm a nice teacher, I'm going to show you how to finish the problem. And this is a, if you did not watch the video, well, first of all, you're not here. But if you're watching the video, then great job. I'm going to show you how to complete the problem. The way we're going to do it, the way we're going to get rid of this square on the left-hand side is that we're going to take the square root. The square cancels the square root, and you're left with x plus 5 over 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 9/4, which turns out to be plus or minus 3/2. So now you have x equals -5/2 plus or minus 3/2. This gives me two scenarios. One in which you have x equals -5 plus 3/2, or x equals -5 minus 3 divided by 2. In the first scenario, you get that x equals -2/2, which is -1. And on the second scenario, you get -8/2, which is -4, which are, our final answer gives us -1, -4. And look at that. The answers match the same answers that we were given by factoring. With that in mind, this is the end of the problem. Remember that sometimes you might see an easier path of solving the problem, but the instructions are telling you to go a different path, and that's okay. You gotta make sure to follow and understand the instructions. With this, we come to the conclusion of this video, and I'll see you in the next exam.